learning opportunities and quality and equitable education by empowering higher education institutes, HEIs, through digital transformation. Since its establishment on 8th of June 2016, UNESCO-ICHEI has been making steady progress from Shenzhen towards the world. Since established, UNESCO-ICHEI has been actively working with UNESCO offices and centers, global partners, HEIs, relevant government agencies worldwide. Our global network of partnerships consists of efforts from every part of the world and continue expanding through multi-stakeholder collaborations. UNESCO-ICHEI has accumulated experience building a supportive ecosystem for local higher education and sowing the seeds of exchange and mutual support. In May 2015, the Shenzhen Municipal People's Government signed an agreement with UNESCO to establish the UNESCO Shenzhen Funds and Trust and set up projects in Asia and Africa, respectively. The Asian project promoted ICT-driven innovation and university capacity building in Cambodia and Sri Lanka, and the African project developed the quality assurance mechanism and systematic capability of higher education in 10 African countries. UNESCO assessed that the project has played a unique and significant role in supporting UNESCO to fulfill its higher education duties and has become a model of South-South cooperation and North-South cooperation. In addition, the International Institute of Online Education, IIOE, was jointly initiated by UNESCO-ICHEI partners HEIs and enterprises in 2019. Adhering to the principle of extensive consultation, joint contribution, and shared benefits, relying on its open online platform, IIOE is dedicated to facilitating the digital transformation of higher education through capacity building. It has provided HEIs and teachers in developing countries with courses, training, micro-certification, toolkit, and other functions. IIOE is also committed to creating an ecosystem of co-construction and shared benefits among partner institutions. Since April 2020, IIOE has formed multi-language and multi-level resource systems and content frameworks, serving dozens of HEIs and thousands of higher education workforce in different parts of the world, with a user base of tens of thousands. It also released IIOE Quality Assurance Framework, Higher Education Training Personnel Digital Competency Reference Framework, IIOE Digital Competency Course Framework, and other outcomes. UNESCO-ICHEI partnered with flagship institutions in key countries to establish IIOE national centers, which can develop more alliance members in project countries and expand the impact of the alliance. At present, IIOE has set up national centers together with universities in Egypt, Pakistan, Indonesia, Kenya, Malaysia, Mongolia, Nigeria, Zambia, Senegal, and Uzbekistan, and carried out a series of digital transformation pilot projects with 5 IIOE national centers that meet the characteristics of educational development in the host countries, and further spread the impact of the program on the national network of universities in host countries. Faced with local challenges of inadequate infrastructure and insufficient faculty capacity, UNESCO-ICHEI and partner enterprises have donated more than 10 smart classrooms to HEIs in developing regions to help local teachers acquire skills, innovate pedagogy, and share and collaborate. UNESCO-ICHEI has already planned 7 phases of smart classroom projects with a total of 40 smart classrooms across developing countries in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, providing educational infrastructure for global partners, HEIs, through cross-sectoral cooperation model to further facilitate the professional development of the higher education workforce in their practice. Building research practice partnerships has also been essential for UNESCO-ICHEI's work. UNESCO-ICHEI, in collaboration with global HEI's partners, think tanks and research institutes, experts and scholars, and international organizations, has produced a series of theatrical and sub-regional empirical research on the digital transformation of higher education, as well as a series of research outputs, knowledge products, and global initiatives. The flagship quarterly publication, Cloud, was officially launched to the global audience. With the gathering of experts and readers, Cloud provides a platform for sharing innovative practices in higher education and a channel for friendly, cross-regional exchanges, connecting and disseminating knowledge across borders. By hosting and participating in high-level international conferences, UNESCO-ICHEI has conveyed its voice on digital transformation in higher education on the international stage, as well as building a platform to promote communication among global partners. Entering a new stage of development, UNESCO-ICHEI empowers higher education institutions in developing countries and actively participates in building a shared future of digital transformation. In the future, UNESCO-ICHEI will remain working closely around the UN Sustainable Development Goal 4, responding to the call of UNESCO's Futures of Education 2050 initiative, and promoting the integration of artificial intelligence, AI, and other advanced technologies into higher education to work towards the shared future of quality and equitable education. Relevant government agencies worldwide. Our global network of partnerships consists of efforts from every part of the world and continue expanding through multi-stakeholder collaborations. UNESCO-ICHEI has accumulated experience building a supportive ecosystem for local higher education and sowing the seeds of exchange and mutual support. In May 2015, the Shenzhen Municipal People's Government signed an agreement with UNESCO to establish the UNESCO Shenzhen Funds and Trust and set up projects in Asia and Africa respectively. The Asian project promoted ICT-driven innovation and university capacity building in Cambodia and Sri Lanka, and the African project developed the quality assurance mechanism and systematic capability of higher education in 10 African countries. UNESCO assessed that the project has played a unique and significant role in supporting UNESCO to fulfill its higher education duties and has become a model of South-South cooperation and North-South cooperation. In addition, the International Institute of Online Education, IIOE, was jointly initiated by UNESCO-ICHEI partners HEIs and enterprises in 2019. Adhering to the principle of extensive consultation, joint contribution, and shared benefits, relying on its open online platform, IIOE is dedicated to facilitating the digital transformation of higher education through capacity building. It has provided HEIs and teachers in developing countries with courses, training, micro-certification, toolkit, and other functions. IIOE is also committed to creating an ecosystem of co-construction and shared benefits among partner institutions. Since April 2020, IIOE has formed multi-language and multi-level resource systems and content frameworks, serving dozens of HEIs and thousands of higher education workforce in different parts of the world, with a user base of tens of thousands. It also released IIOE Quality Assurance Framework, Higher Education Training Personnel Digital Competency Reference Framework, IIOE Digital Competency Course Framework, and other outcomes. UNESCO-ICHEI partnered with flagship institutions in key countries to establish IIOE National Centers, which can develop more alliance members in project countries and expand the impact of the alliance. At present, IIOE has set up national centers together with universities in Egypt, Pakistan, Indonesia, Kenya, Malaysia, Mongolia, Nigeria, Zambia, Senegal, and Uzbekistan, and carried out a series of digital transformation pilot projects with 5 IIOE national centers that meet the characteristics of educational development in the host countries, and further spread the impact of the program on the national network of universities in host countries. Faced with local challenges of inadequate infrastructure and insufficient faculty capacity, UNESCO-ICHEI and partner enterprises have donated more than 10 smart classrooms to HEIs in developing regions to help local teachers acquire skills, innovate pedagogy, and share and collaborate. UNESCO-ICHEI has already planned 7 phases of smart classroom projects with a total of 40 smart classrooms across developing countries in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, providing educational infrastructure for global partners, HEIs, through cross-sectoral cooperation model to further facilitate the professional development of the higher education workforce in their practice. Building research practice partnerships has also been essential for UNESCO-ICHEI's work. UNESCO-ICHEI, in collaboration with global HEI's partners, think tanks and research institutes, experts and scholars, and international organizations, has produced a series of theatrical and sub-regional empirical research on the digital transformation of higher education, as well as a series of research outputs, knowledge products, and global initiatives. The flagship quarterly publication, Cloud, was officially launched to the global audience. With the gathering of experts and readers, Cloud provides a platform for sharing innovative practices in higher education and a channel for friendly, cross-regional exchanges, connecting and disseminating knowledge across borders by hosting and participating in high-level international conferences. UNESCO-ICHEI has conveyed its voice on digital transformation in higher education on the international stage, as well as building a platform to promote communication among global partners. Entering a new stage of development, UNESCO-ICHEI empowers higher education institutions in developing countries and actively participates in building a shared future of digital transformation. In the future, UNESCO-ICHEI will remain working closely around the UN Sustainable Development Goal 4, responding to the call of UNESCO's Futures of Education 2050 initiative, and promoting the integration of artificial intelligence, AI, and other advanced technologies into higher education to work towards the shared future of quality and equitable education.
Okay. Dear esteemed guests and colleagues, if you could start taking seats, our next forum is starting in another minute or so. And we do have one more session after this one. We also have the award ceremony tonight, so if you're looking for something exciting. Going to give everyone about like another 30 seconds. If my colleagues and our volunteers could start helping bringing our guests back in. Okay, we're at time. We've had some very interesting discussions and sharings about policy, about theory, about observations. However, what we're missing till now is the best practices, what different institutions have been doing, integrating artificial intelligence technology into their teaching and learning. So in this forum, Forum 4, our theme is around innovations and applications of AI in higher education, teaching, and learning. And I'm thrilled to invite Professor Paul Prinsloo, who is the research professor in open distance learning, University of South Africa. He will be moderating the session. Welcome, Professor Prinsloo.
Thank you, friends and colleagues. It's a great honor and privilege and fun to be here. This is the 4th forum, and just when we think we cannot take any more, there's still 2 or 3 forums left. So it will be a pleasure to listen to 3 experts and then have a roundtable discussion. So our first expert is on enhancing student experience and learning through AI literacy by Grace Oakley, Associate Professor and Deputy Dean of the Graduate School of Education, University of Western Australia, Australia. Grace, thank you. Let's give her a hand.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's my absolute pleasure to be here. And I have not got the step to stand on, so I hope you can see me okay. So I'm going to be talking about enhancing student experience and learning through AI literacy. I'd like to particularly mention how important student experience is, because if students don't have a good experience, there are lots of outcomes. For example, they might leave, and student attrition. Oh, I was only joking, I don't really mean it. Student attrition is an issue. Also, it's a reality in my institution and all around Australia that students have to complete surveys on student experience and whether they had a good experience at university. And there are some quite negative impacts for institutions that don't get good scores in those metrics. So by student experience, I mean, do they enjoy the course? Do they feel included? Do they feel safe, valued, seen and heard? Do they feel that the lecturers are interacting with them, that they're having opportunities to have meaningful interactions with their peers? So something to think about is what might the impact of AI have on student experience in a positive way or a negative way, possibly. So, AI literacy, I don't need to define it or go into details very much because Professor Chan did a marvellous job of that earlier today. So, what is it? Why is it important? And a few strategies for supporting AI literacy. So, AI literacy is part of the broader concept of digital literacy, and I would also say that it's very interlinked with critical literacy. One of my main areas of teaching is literacy, and I'm very interested in critical literacy, and I see that AI literacy is very interwound with this. A definition, and there are many definitions of digital literacy, critical literacy, AI literacy, but this is one definition. It's a set of competencies that enables individuals to critically evaluate AI technologies, communicate and collaborate effectively with AI, and use AI as a tool online, at home, and in the workplace. I would argue that we should also have in education in any definition, because we're lifelong learners and we'll be using AI in our lifelong learning. So why is it important? As with digital literacy more generally and more broadly, it's just it's necessary for people to be able to function in their education, everyday life and their work, an essential part of being a citizen as well. Even though this list of competencies of AI literacy were devised before ChatGPT became popular, before it came out, I quite like this list by David Ng and colleagues, 2021. Professor Chan did mention it this morning in her big list. but I quite like this one because it's nice and simple. 3 aspects of AI literacy that we need to pay attention to in our institutions is that the students and indeed the teaching staff need to know and understand AI. They need to be able to use and apply AI. That's generically, but also as part of whatever profession they're going into. Professor Chan also mentioned that this morning, that there are more the generic AI literacy and then the more profession-specific AI literacies as well. Being able to evaluate and create AI as well are part of the components of AI literacy. According to this, it actually came from a systematic review that and colleagues did, and what research, how researchers defined AI literacy and the components that they saw it having. And also AI ethics was mentioned, but it's not part of the 3 competencies here. But I think it is. I think it should be. All right, so what do people need to know? What do we need to teach our students? And what do we need to know ourselves as educators in order to know and understand AI? We need to know what does it do? Where can I find it? For example, sometimes it might not be apparent to people which apps and platforms have an AI, they're AI-driven in some way. I think it's apt to point out that there is a myth of digital natives. A lot of people might think, oh, young people know that this is AI-driven or it's got AI behind it, but they don't necessarily know. They often can just take things for granted. So they may not be digital natives. So other things is how does it work? How does it learn? How is it created? All of these things are quite scary for ordinary sort of academics like myself to try and teach students. And I think I'm a little bit more on top of it than some others. 3 minutes left, oh my God, better hurry up. So knowing and understanding, that's the list of things we need to do. So I'll flick through some of these. The next one is use and apply AI. This is the fun bit, I think, is where you get your students to actually apply various AI tools that may be used for a generic purpose, like writing assignments. And so AI literacy is a generic capability, or it may be more AI literacy in a more professional sense, depending on what they're going into. So for me, as a teacher educator, I'd be teaching my students how to write lesson plans, how to assess their students in schools, all of those kinds of things, how to make resources using AI. They need to be able to write great prompts, obviously. That's one of the most fundamental things people need to be able to do. And actually, OpenAI have a link there with some examples of some quite elaborated prompts that are quite useful. AI-powered coaching, that's another thing that can be used in teaching and learning for our students that can be quite useful. Actually, this stool's making me too tall. What do I get down here? I asked LinkedIn Learning to give me some AI coaching on my time management, and it wasn't very good. Actually, it just said that we understand that you've got a lot on your plate, you could do this, this and that. So that aspect of AI-powered coaching was not all that impressive. So that knowing that some of the tools may not be impressive is important. Helping students receive feedback is absolutely paramount, and getting feedback from their peers and giving feedback to their peers. I think a lot of times students are a bit too shy to give honest and constructive feedback when they're doing peer feedback, but they may not be as reticent if they've got some AI tips on things that they might say. I'm actually being quite good and looking for that sign to see how many minutes I've got left. Next year, I'll be working quite a lot with feedback fruits, which is an application that can be integrated with your LMS, and it is all about giving more formative, ongoing feedback to your students. It's AI-powered, and it also is about helping students give each other feedback as well. So that's something that I'll be using next year. I'll flick through this. This was just showing you how I made resources with DALI, which turned out to be not very good. And then evaluating and critiquing AI. So Helen Crompton said, given that ChatGPT is a conversational agent, we could involve it in debates or use it to draft papers, but then invest time critiquing that output. So it's that critiquing the output that we need to spend a fair bit of time doing. And creating AI, that's over to you. I haven't got that far as to creating AI with my students yet. I'm going to flick through because I've only got 1 minute left. I just wanted to show you this diagram by Dave Ayton and colleagues, where they have suggested, they've mapped AI competencies against Bloom's taxonomy and different ways that it could be used for knowing, understanding, applying, analysing, and so on. I haven't got much time to talk about it, but you might like to read the article. And that's just my own schematic of it. Right, so this follows on a little bit from what Professor Chan said this morning about having a policy framework in your institution for AI. I have to say that I did a quick scan of institutional frameworks and policies across Australia for AI literacy as a general capability, and I didn't find very much there as yet that's out in the open. Newcastle University had one, but it wasn't really, it's just a set of competencies. So I think there's quite a bit of work there to be done on AI literacy and what it is, what needs to be taught, how to teach it, and how to empower the staff to teach it as well, the teaching staff at university. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Grace. Our next expert, the theme for the presentation is information retrieval of scientific information and the relevance of its intellectualization for higher education. It's my honor to introduce to you Professor Marat Rakhmatullaev of Tashkent University of Information Technologies and team leader of Harris, Uzbekistan. Prof, you're welcome. Let's give him a hand.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. My presentation is information retrieval of scientific information and the relevance of its intellectualization for higher education. And I will try to explain for the short time why we should use artificial intelligence for information retrieval. And everybody knows what does it mean, innovation process. Is the process of converting scientific knowledge into innovation, but with the requirements of obtaining in applied results. Innovative potential includes research base, production facilities and capacities, and other. And it's very important part of this process is the information resources and personnel with the necessary qualification. All information support of innovation activity stage and all part fundamental research, applied research, development of individual design, commercialization, serial production. That requires information support. And we need scientific and educational, scientific and technical patent information about promising development, predictive and analytical information, commercial information, statistic information, and other kind of information. And where we should get this information? Information environment includes a lot of kinds of information. More 100,000 scientific journals, 5 million presentations at conference, more than 100,000 scientific conferences, 12 million patents, 1 million research reports, 100,000 monographs annually. And we should develop some tools to find necessary information and using some tools or some system of artificial intelligence. We conducted some survey for among our teachers and researchers, and we can see and it's some question. What information sources do you store and use for scientific and educational activities? It is on personal computer or servers. And we have some answers. Useful information, 10%. Additional information, 15%. Related information, 20%. Outdated information, 20%. Off topics information, 15%. Unnecessary, even unnecessary information, we store 15%. Only 5% at necessary information in our computers or local servers. And everybody knows some conception education. Education 1 and education 2, 3, and 4, and education 5. And now we live in some stage education 4 and education 5. And stage of technology are big data, neuron networks, artificial intelligence, smart technical development, and other. So we should have some competences. And smart classes, independent learning, then to work with artificial intelligence systems in the educational process, the ability to learn anytime, anywhere. Why it's necessary to develop artificial intelligence systems for information retrieval? The volume of scientific and educational information doubles every 2-3 years. The possibilities of a person for information retrieval are exhausted. The fate of society depends on the availability of access and the effectiveness of the search for scientific, educational, technological, business, and other information. Modern traditional information retrieval systems are not able to provide prompt access to necessary and complete information. And I would like to give some short information about our republic and our institution and some direction of on artificial intelligence direction. The main strategic direction for the development of artificial intelligence in Uzbekistan are specified in the decree of the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan dated February 17, 2021 on measures to create conditions for the accelerated introduction of artificial intelligence technology. So now our university, Tashkent University of Information Technology, have opened graduate education in the specialty digital technology and artificial intelligence. And we have special department, artificial intelligence. We prepare some bachelor and master students on these directions. The scientific research, special scientific research institute for the development of digital technology and artificial intelligence was established at the Ministry of ICT. Financial of scientific research and innovative development in the field of artificial intelligence is created out by the Fund for Support of Innovative Development and Innovative Ideas. And we have a special direction of research. It is scientific research. It's, and the direction more close and, to develop some system artificial intelligence for information retrieval and the evaluation of information source and knowledge. It's very important. Analysis of information needs of users, generation of new knowledge from existing data bricks, some models, processing of voice and fuzzy queries, and automation of information collection from different sources, and smart classes. And it is a very important some scientific direction which we are developing not only in special department artificial intelligence, but for different departments too, and the special institution of artificial intelligence. And in conclusion, I would like to say that the intellectualization of the information retrieval is an important task for the development of higher education. There is a great need for artificial intelligence training in universities, and integration of efforts to create effective software and artificial intelligence systems will ensure effective information support for learning, self-learning, and training process. Smart classrooms are an important artificial development tool for effective learning and knowledge dissemination. Thank you very much for your attention.
Our last expert in this themed presentation, he has a title, Innovations in Artificial Intelligence for Personalized Learning and IIOE Practices. Zhao Junjun, he's a CEO from, I hope I get this right, ZhiXueYun Technology CO Limited. Give him a big hand. Thank you very much.
好，各位来宾、各位专家大家好。今天我的主题呢是 AI 重塑教育。就站在今天，不管是我们接受还是不接受，那么人工智能呢已经无法抵抗的向我们走来，所以我们更关注的就是怎么样去能更好的顺应 AI 潮流下的我们的教育。那么虽然大家也都非常有很多的顾虑，例如说 AI 对我们教育公平，很多方面教育评价的一些挑战，但是呢，首先我们还是去看它积极的一面。那我们认为呢 ，AI 会对我们的教育呢带来一些重大的一些影响。那么首先从教师这一侧，那么传统的数字化解决了自动化问题。那我们现在在教学的很多一些流程中，会借助数字化的平台，开展我们的工作。那么 AI 会使得我们的工作呢进一步的智能化。以前需要老师更多的参与的一些工作，那么可以通过 AI 来替代。那么老师可以把他的时间和精力用在更宝贵的、更有价值的事情身上。那么对学生这一侧来讲，更重要的，以前数字化解决了个规模化的问题，我们可以在更大的规模范围内去交付我们的学习。那么 AI 提供了个性化的能力，使得每个人可以去接受跟 自己需求相关联、每个人都不一样的教学。所以就像这两个图标所表达的，那么对我们的教师这一侧来讲，它可以让我们的工作更有效率、更高效。那么从学生这一侧来讲，那么它可以更有它的目的、更有针对性，而不是所有的人都要一样的去开展学习。那么我们认为呢，在教育领域去落实 AI 的一些技术，需要很好的解决两个问题。第一个呢，怎么样把 AI 的能力和教师自己的知识能够结合起来？所以它不应该成为老师的一个竞争者或者挑战者，而是应该成为老师的一个合作者。怎么样更好的支持老师的知识和老师的智慧在教育的应用？那么第二点呢，它需要跟我们教学本身的目标和流程能够结合起来，更好的支持我们的教学的过程。所以我们认为这是 AI 在教育领域能够成功发挥价值的很重要的两个要素。那么我们作为一个企业，我们更关注的呢是 AI 在教育领域的应用。那么目前我们在这样4个最主要的教育环节，例如说教学、学生的学习、练习和测验，在4个主要的环节呢，都在开展 AI 的一些技术的应用。那么今天呢，我重点会针对这样一些应用呢，给大家做一个介绍。那么我们在 AI 这件事情上的策略呢，我们认为是叫形声于言。那么就像 ChatGPT 在之前，那么 Transform 这样一些大模型，只是说专业领域的一些研究的对象。那么通过 ChatGPT 这样的产品，那么它真正走入大众，影响到我们每一个人。所以我们在教育领域也是一样，我们认为应该是产品驱动的。我们通过优秀的结合 AI 能力的教育产品，去驱动大家所有的教师去进行这样一个转型。那么就跟这里所用到的这张图，应该我们一些老师也能看出来，这张图本身也是用 ChatGPT 生成的。那么 IIOE 本身呢，就是一个向全球的教师提供服务的一个平台。所以呢，作为这样一个新的技术的实践，目前我们在 IIOE 的平台里头已经加入了新的一个产品，这个产品呢叫做 ITA， 那么就是基于 AI 的一个教学助手。那么我会围绕着这样一个实践呢，给大家做一些演示。那么它的领域在教学领域呢，第一个助手呢，我们认为是一个教学的助手，它的定位呢是帮助老师的。例如老师我们在日常的教学过程中，我们会去写各种各样的一些教学的教案，会写各种各样的一些报告、总结和手册。那么我们可以基于一些智能化的一些结构，预处理好的一些结构，帮助教师更好的去生成它的这样一些教学的一些材料。那么，例如说，以前需要100个单位的时间能够解决的工作，那么现在也许它可以通过30个时间的投入，就可以达到同样质量的产出，提高教师的效率。那么第二呢，我们叫做这个数字人。那么对很多老师来讲，课程制作始终呢都是一个工作量比较大的事情。那么现在呢，能够只要你输入你的文稿，就是我要这个课程的文本是什么，只要老师有讲义，那么可以自动的去生成这样一个数字的一个课件。那么大家能够看到，那么这个人物的形象、他的动作、他的背景都是可以自定义的。所以呢，它就使得在内容的制作这件事情上、课件的开发这件事情上，变得效率比以前会高很多，而且产出的质量也会高很多。那么再一个呢，这是围绕着学生这一侧。那么我们把它这个能力呢叫做这个智能助教。但是实际上呢，大家可能有感受，就是使用的窗口都是一个对话的窗口。但是呢，学生在学习过程中也可以随时通过这样一个窗口呢，去得到自己需要的知识，围绕这个课程或者一个学习项目的。所以呢，与其学生在外面去使用各种各样的工具，其实不如我们直接为学生提供这样的工具。那么这种工具呢，还是可以在我们一种可控的环境下去使用，对学生来说也会更安全一些。那么同样，我们在学习过程中，我们做了学习地图、知识地图这样一个东西，就是它可以根据我们的讲义自动的去形成我们的一个结构化的、可视化的知识地图。那么中国有个成语叫按图索骥，所以这种学习过程中，它可以基于这样一个线索去开展它的个性化的学习，就是并不意味着我需要把所有的知识点按照传统的结构便利性的去学习一遍。 那么同样，针对在测验或者考试过程中的一些错题，那么以前我们需要有老师或者是有经验的学生辅助他去进行错题的解析。那么现在这个能力呢，我们也可以用 AI 去完成，通过 AI 可以提供随时的24小时的这种错题的解析。那么在学员做完一个测评了以后呢，我们可以通过 AI 自动的去生成一个报告，帮学员去总结分析他在多次测验之后的一些进步和一些变化。那么对于我们在测试这个环节的话呢，我们现在在推进智能的出题，就是老师呢只要有讲义，我们可以根据讲义呢自动的去生成相应的题目，老师基于这些自动的题目呢再去进行人工的完善，可以大概提高出题的效率，可以提高到原来的节省掉90%的时间。那么还有智能阅卷，对一些主观题目的一些阅卷，我们现在也可以通过 AI 来去辅助阅卷。那么当然，在整个一个过程中，大家非常关注的就是这样一种应用它的用户的认可度。所以呢，我们会通过3个维度呢去跟踪和评估。例如说专家的评价，但这样一些产品，我们邀请人工的专家去评价它的可用性。那么跟踪学员的使用的活跃度。ChatGPT 非常重要，就是全世界都能看到它的用户活跃度是持续增长的。那么作为前期的时候，我们也引入用户的反馈，用户呢帮助我们去反馈这样一些产出的质量。那么当然，随着未来的进一步的发展的话呢，我们认为 AI 也需要在4个方面呢更好的去发展，才能匹配我们的教育的需求。第一个呢，会更加的智能，尤其在多模态的应用这一块。第二来说的话呢，它需要更安全。那么第3个呢，更准确，因为教育我们并不是完全开放的一种输出。那么第4个呢，是更低成本。那么从 IIOE 来讲，目前已经具备了一些 AI 的一些能力，这些能力呢，我们会进一步的去扩充。我们希望 IIOE 的 ITA 这样一个产品，可以成为支持各位老师对 AI 的应用的一个非常重要的一个工具。好，谢谢大家。
I think our 3 experts deserve another hand of applause. Let's give them a round. Colleagues, I invite to join me on stage 4 different sets of experts. Arshad Salim Bhatti, Rector, Virtual University of Pakistan, if you can join me on stage. Madam Acting Pro-Vice Chancellor Florence Matambangenengwe, Academic Executive Director for Research, Innovation and Industrialization, University of Zimbabwe, my neighbor. Then Assistant Professor Jaime Alberto Palma Mendoza, mucho gusto, senor. Professor at the Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering, Tecnológico de Monterrey, Mexico. And then the Director General at the Institute for Educational Planning and Administration, Michael Buake Iado. Please join me and be ready for my questions. Great. We've had some panel discussions today, and I want to put our panelists in an awkward position as my first question. What does ChatGPT not know about you? We will start there at the back and come this side. If I would ask ChatGPT about you, sir, what does ChatGPT or the internet not know about you?
A difficult question.
That's a formal question.
But if ChatGPT aims at enhancing student experiences and enhancing student learning outcomes and enhancing quality education, then I believe he or she, I'm not sure whether he's a male or a female, but he or she will find a lot of information about me.
Oh, okay. You sort of circumventing that question,
right.
But I'm not allowing that to the second one. What does ChatGPT not know about you, sir?
Well, it's very difficult nowadays to hide information. Probably they will not know about certain things about my social life, but I think that in terms of what you can consider private is very difficult nowadays. Well, in terms of the use of ChatGPT for teaching, I think that concern here, why this question, is that what does ChatGPT cannot do? Okay. So I think we need to be very careful about how students are using it, because they can misuse it.
Okay, no, I'm not going to allow you to get away from me. What does ChatGPT not know about you? Give us one thing.
Okay, well, I think that they don't know that I'm here in China.
Okay, you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, Florence, can I ask you, what does ChatGPT or the internet not know about you that you want to share with us?
I will agree with my colleagues. That is a difficult question.
I know, but you're not getting away.
But it will not know about my personal life.
Okay.
Yes, I have not added any of that onto the
Okay, and
web.
you, sir, the last. What does ChatGPT or the internet not know about you?
Do you work for some news agency or something like that? Anyway, I think ChatGPT will not know anything which I do not post on my social media or on my anything which is available on the internet.
Or your friends post about you.
Something. One thing which I'm sure I have to give it a try. I played cricket, and I don't know how many of you know this is a colonial game, you know. Those who have been British colony, they play a lot and they like it. And I played quite a lot of cricket, but I never displayed it anywhere, or my friends have put it on.
Up to now. Colleague, he was the only honest one of all four. Let's give him a hand of applause. Okay, so this is about, we've listened the whole day up to now about various aspects of ChatGPT and generative AI and large language models. And I want to ask you, if we think of the student experience of pre-admissions, from where students start to do inquiries about which institution or what they want to study, to actual selecting the institution and registering, selecting courses in that qualification, then start their teaching or their learning journey, the student support, the assessment, the pedagogy, the writing at the exam, and then what is next. Can you share some practical examples of how AI is applied in your institution from either pre-inquiry, admissions, course selection, teaching and learning, assessment, student support, and then the road after the next year to employment? Do you have any practical applications of AI in your institution? Let's start this side and then go that way. I'm looking for, we've talked a lot today. Show us some money. How do you use AI at which phase of the student journey? Please.
Thank you very much. Let me, you have to give me a couple of minutes. I'm representing Virtual University of Pakistan. This is a 100% online university, electronic university, and it's been 22 years we are working, delivering education using internet and television, our own televisions. So this AI phenomena, being in third world country, is a very recent phenomena. So our operations actually started like a conventional university where we defined the curriculum in the same manner and the programs, outcomes, and everything as a regular or conventional university. But for last few years, what we have started doing is, number one, we have started training our teachers how to devise a course curriculum using the AI. And we are lucky in the sense that we have got data of each courses for last 20 years. So we look at the performance of the students in particular course, and then we use this one to define the course, the scheme of studies of that course. Number one was that. Number two, which we have recently started, is rather than looking at the program outcomes, we are looking what are the competencies we want to have among our students. And that is very important. And here, our faculty, our teachers are taking advantage of the AI tools to develop the scheme of studies of specific courses. Another thing which our university has implemented in our learning management system, since we don't have face-to-face classes, but we do have our lectures recorded and delivered in the asynchronous mode, in the modules or in hour or 50 minutes long lectures. We get feedback from students like 1 star, 3, 4, 5 stars, and we accumulate this over the period in a semester and then over a year, and after running a few times this course. And we use this feedback continuously to update, to upgrade our courses, how the students' experience can be enriched if there are some gaps or something missing or something new is needed over there. And finally, what we have started in last 1 year or so is linking the assessments to the lecture courses, and then making the analysis, complete analysis of the assessments, the results of the assessments. And that is helping us, not only us, to the student itself to define its own progress as it moves through the degree program. This is what we are doing using the, taking advantage of the technologies which we have built into our learning management system. Lastly, which Dr. Zhao Junjun mentioned, I think this is where the world is happening, is going to go with the AI, is the development of knowledge map. It's not the course map, but it's the knowledge map